Hello, it's Kevin here. Time for a video. So, as you may or may not know, if you've been watching on YouTube or Telegram or Apparat or any other site, what we're doing in collaboration with IELTS 9 Pro, which is my group on Telegram, we're doing a rundown of all IELTS Cambridge academic writing tasks number 1. So, starting from the previous papers, Cambridge 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, and this is test number 2 or 3, can't remember, from 11. Okay, so first things first, usual disclaimer, fair use, blah, 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 non-profit. Okay, so this is the one in question. We'll take a look at it. I wrote a sample and I'll explain why I did it the way that I did, and then I'm going to have a look at I think it's 4 or 5 student responses from my group on Telegram. Okay, so first things first, right? The graph shows average CO2 emissions per person, UK, Sweden, Italy and Portugal. Got to summarise information, select, put the main features and make comparisons. Okay, now I've mentioned the criteria before. I hope I don't have to do so again, but the overview, this is the key point that a lot of people don't get right. The overview doesn't quite work out. You need to clearly identify the main features. What's the biggest, what's the smallest, what's gone up, what's gone down, what's changed, etc. If you don't do that, you won't get a very good task achievement score. Anyway, this one's pretty easy. So we can see CO2 in metric tons. We've got the time, so you've got the x-axis, you've got the y-axis. So pretty clear. 2 has gone down, 2 have gone up. That's it. Largest is the UK. Biggest or most significant drop is in Sweden. Italy and Portugal both went up at the same rate. And that's basically it. So, what did I do? Well, right. So, introductory sentence, pretty straightforward. You just have to paraphrase a bit, right? The graph illustrates the amount of CO2 emitted per person in this period in these countries. Okay, pretty straightforward. Overview. This is a 1, I keep saying, right? So, both the UK and Sweden went down, with Sweden showing a more significant or marked reduction. But which, despite this, the UK remained the highest producer per person over time. Conversely, Italy and Portugal both saw essentially a doubling of their emissions in that period, which is what we can see. So the UK's emissions in 1967 were around 11 metric tons per person. They went down. I'm not going to read it all. You can see it. So you'll see there's no figures in the overview. Now we've got figures and data. UK's emissions were this, they went down to this by way of contrast, blah, blah, blah. Interestingly, Portugal and Italy both saw an increase, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'll just leave that there, right? I'm not going to read it out. You can read it for yourselves. It's pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, so that's it. Nice, simple restatement of the topic. Clearly identify main features. That's it. Not everything you have to include. Then, starting with here, starting with the largest, going to the smallest would seem a logical progression. I would have thought so, going down, you know. Anyway, now let's have a look. What did these people do? Let's have a look. Okay, a bit bigger. Now, I'm not going to correct every single thing. I'm not going to be typing out every single change. The graph provides some background information. Really? Well, it simply shows, it doesn't provide, well, I suppose it does, but how is it background? How is it background? It simply shows, the graph shows this, right? So we don't need that. An average of spreading carbon, right? So you can see what we've got here. They've obviously tried to paraphrase, but they've paraphrased it too much. So how do you spread carbon dioxide? Do you walk outside and spread it around? So don't paraphrase it so much of it is nonsense. Right? You don't have to paraphrase every single word. All right. So income tax by each person. I don't know, 5 different countries over a period of 5 years. So it's not 5 years, is it? It's 40. I mean, was it? It's probably 40 years. So there's 5 different years, but it's not 5 years over a period of 5 years. Well, it's not. It's a period of 40 years. So, being of a period, the United Kingdom. Don't forget capitals. I'm not. Well, all right. And Sweden will produce income tax because it's higher than other countries. Yeah, but what's changed though? We're producing carbon, yeah, but it went down. So that's not a key feature, is it? However, I suppose that should be provided the least amount at the beginning and increase. So I can see there's quite a few things here. It's not just grammar, vocabulary. There's a few different things here which I'm not going to make too many comments on. According to the figures, 1967, the United Kingdom's possessive CO2 emissions were over 10 metric tons. So, lots of grammar and vocab here. Right? Sweden's emissions increased this average amount between the years. The average rose to sum up. Right, so, and we don't really need that. You have an overview, and that's it. All right. So that doesn't really work. There's quite a lot that needs. So you just need, right, intro, clear overview, and then the 2 biggest, the 2 smallest. That's it. Pretty straightforward, yeah. So the graph illustrated released carbon dioxide percentage. Well, released is not the same as emitted. For 4 countries such as, well, it's not such as Italy, United Kingdom, Sweden, and Italy twice. Italy, United Kingdom, Sweden, and Italy. Okay. Overall, the chart shows the trending of Portugal is ascending. Well, it's not ascending because it's in the past, while trending is descending. Furthermore, based on the received from a chart diagram. Right, so lots of grammar and vocab here. I'm not saying that I could do better in Persian, but I hope you're not planning on taking the IELTS test anytime soon. There's quite a lot of errors here that not just, criteria-wise in terms of task, achievement, cohesion, and coherence, but there's lots of, you've got missing articles, you've got incorrect verb forms, was instead of were, no genitive possessive case, no capitalization, spelling. Minimum value of that belongs to Portugal. So article use. So these 2 need quite a bit of work, I would say. Line graph. Okay, now this looks better. Average emission of carbon dioxide. Right, so that's a lot. Right, it is emission. It's not escaping. It's not spreading. It's emissions. 4 countries. Now that's a lot better. Look, that's a lot better. That's very good. Right. No argument there. Details. 10 metric tons, the highest, the decrease. Highest in comparison to other countries. This for Sweden. It's a slight drop from the 6. Right, now, that one is very good. Right. Credit where credit's due. Amir, that is sweet. Okay. The given graph illustrates released. Again, it's not released. CO2, you can go free. It's not released. Emission is not the same. Okay. But that aside, that's not bad. Diffused in the air. Again, why can't you say emission? You don't have to paraphrase every single thing. Diffusion is not the same as emission. So, it did go down and it did increase. But still, you could put a little bit more there. like in mine. Actually, this looks a little bit long. Let me just have a look at the word count because we have quite a lot of stuff here. Let's see, this is 207. Okay. Beginning of the era. It's not an era, it's a period. The United Kingdom. Don't forget, if it's something like the United States, the United Kingdom, the Islamic Republic of Iran, it needs a definite article, all right? Was the most polluted countries. CO2 is not necessary. Carbon dioxide is a major part of the atmosphere. Is it pollution? It doesn't actually say that. It just says how much CO2 do you emit. Pollution index, right? So air contact, right. It's obvious what the author's done here. In terms of identification of what the things are, but you've got contamination, polluted, contaminating ranges. It simply says emissions. Make it that and nothing else. Okay? Surprisingly, why is it a surprise? In summary, it's not a summary. There's no conclusion. You do your overview here. So, emissions. It's not diffusing, it's not releasing, it's emissions. Okay, so this one here is good. I suggest that you see how that one's done. The others, I'll say lots of grammar, lots of vocab, spelling, etc. And the last one is check. Oh, it's even. Oh, is there more? Is there? Did I accidentally miss one? Oh, sorry. Oh dear, I missed one. Okay, the graph demonstrates demonstrates. Right, I am demonstrating this to you. The graph cannot. It maybe shows you. It illustrates, but it's not a demonstration. All right. 4 countries with a span of 40 years. Now, okay. Apart from that, that's good. Upward trend. Substantial decline. Right, now that's better. That's right. That's pretty good. Very good. Regarding to Sweden, why would you start with Sweden first? So the UK is the biggest. So why would you start with Sweden first? I mean, UK is the biggest polluter. Sweden showed the most significant fall out of the two, but why would you start there? Wouldn't it be more logical to do largest, second largest, third, 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, I make stable at propinquity 10. The actually efficient over interest contrary. Conversely, the emissions of Italy. From this onwards, the release of these toxic gas, it's not a release. Hey, a toxic gas, you are free to go. You are released. Emissions. So, not as bad as the ones at the beginning, but the best, I believe, is this one by Amir. Excellent job, excellent job. So, I'll just put mine on for you to see just at the end. Okay, so, sentence 1, nice and clear. The graph illustrates or shows. It's not a demonstration. It can't do that. It doesn't have hands. Overview, what's the biggest, what's the smallest, what's gone up, what's gone down, and then logical progression, high to low, or even low to high, if you wish. But it's got to be logical. Okay? There you go. Hope that helps. So there's a new task posted. I think it's a final one of Cambridge 11. I'll check it out in a moment, and I'll see. So, yep, that's it for today. Nothing else. So, hope that helps. There'll be another video probably next week, once I have some time, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye for now. Link to Telegram and my italki profile below, and if you need anything, you can write to me, Any questions, I'll be glad to help out. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye for now.